Season 1, Episode 3, Amid the Ruins, written by Zachary Serra. 2 days after the outbreak. Walking since 2 o'clock in the morning, John, Claire, and Chase have been hiking along Route 101 in an attempt to get back to the University of California in hopes that some of the students had survived the initial outbreak. With a feeling of very little hope that any had been able to make it out alive, Chase begins to feel as though the trip may be a lost cause. John begins to look at Chase, who had offered to tag along with them on the journey, and starts to wonder whether he will be a problem to the group's chances of survival. Water, food, and ammunition to keep them going, they decide to look in hopes for a working car on the zombie-scattered highway. Claire begins looking into the window of a red truck and looks into it, in the driver's seat. She walks over to the other side of the car, smashes in the window with her elbow, and stabs the zombie, still tied in the seatbelt, in the side of the head. Animated corpse, and notices that there is no sign of a bite. Lone bullet wound to the chest of the once man, now dead corpse. She examines it, and is brought to exhaustion, realizing that this man took his own life to spare himself from this new harsh reality. She starts to wonder if this is what the remaining parts of the world are soon to come to. Later, it is the very middle of the afternoon, with a bright sun beating down on the bodies of Claire, John, and Chase, and they have finally made it to the road that connects the remained of the city and the campus of the University of California. The group quietly approaches the walkway area into the main campus and spot a group of close to 50 zombies scattered amongst the campus ways. The group decide that there is an idea that needs to be formed, so they devise a plan to split up and take the zombies down one by one. John is given a tomahawk, Chase is given a baseball bat, and Claire takes her kitchen knife. John walks over to the campus entrance and takes down 2 zombies before sneaking and crouching to and behind a metal garbage can. This gives an opportunity to Claire, who stabs 5 zombies in the temple before joining John behind the garbage can. Chase soon follows and approaches one zombie before brandishing the bat, however, soon becomes taken over by fear as the zombie turns around and looks directly at Chase. The zombie starts walking towards Chase and growls, which alerts the remaining of the undead. Claire and John both brandish their handguns and start firing rounds into the crowd of the undead. Chase is able to break free from the horde and breaks through a window on the first floor. Claire and John soon attract the remaining zombies to their location and are forced to evacuate as the undead creep closer to them. On the side of the school, John and Claire are both slashing the heads of the undead that step in their way before entering the unblocked door of an equipment shed to the side of the main school building. The horde soon catches up to the building and start pounding on the wooden doors. With no other option, the two have to find a way to escape. Noticing a hatch below their feet that connects underground, John and Claire manage to break the lock and open the hatch just as the horde enters through the doors. Make it through the hatch, seal the door, and keep it closed with John's tomahawk. They find themselves in a tunnel underneath the school, connecting to the larger basement area. Time to collect their breaths and look at it, noticing that they are running low on food and water. To replenish stock. Two start making their way down the tunnels, unaware of where it's taking them. An hour later, and Claire and John find a door labeled Exit to Janitor's Department and hope that it gives them a way out. They open the door and walk up the stairs and into a small room where the door is open. They enter a hallway filled with classroom entryways and a lot of memorabilia from the school's past. They start walking through the hallways, noticing the room's increasing number count before hearing a faint conversation on the other side of room 235. Doors and are immediately shot at by a group of former students. They quickly manage to yell that they are not looking to harm anyone and that they are not a threat. The students tell them to slowly walk into the room and drop their weapons. Claire and John proceed to do so and are greeted by 3 young college freshmen, the leader of which, named Trent, tells them that there was a group of police that came into the building 2 days ago looking to help and got attacked by the undead, and that they've been locked inside of the lecture room with minimal food since then. Claire look at them and ask for the remainder of their names. The only girl, Emily, has a background in firearm use since her dad was trained in the military, and Tyler, the youngest of them all by 5 months, has experience in mechanics. John and Claire ask whether they had seen or heard from a man named Chase in the last hour or so, to which the group replies that they hadn't. Between Claire and John, who feel the need to find Chase since he helped them get there in the first place. They agree to go out in search of Chase and take the rest of the survivors with them in search. 2 hours into the search, and they cannot seem to find Chase, who the group fears may have been gone by this point. They continue to search the main building of the school in hopes of finding Chase, but to no avail. The group takes a break by the water fountain on the first floor, and they start to notice that the sun is starting to go down, meaning that they have little to no time at all left to find their friend. John suggests that the group make their way back to the lecture hall in hopes that they will find Chase along the way somehow, and if not, they are at least back to the safe area of the school. To move back to the lecture hall, they make it back to room 235 around 15 minutes later without a sign of Chase, just as the sun finally sets fully. The group decides to rest in the lecture room or the lecture hall for the night and proceed with what they feel has turned into a recovery mission the next day for Chase. They go on with setting up areas to sleep, and the group takes a rest to gear up for the next day. Claire looks to John and asks him what he thinks that they should do after they find out the fate of Chase, to which John responds that he feels it would be best to clear out a dormitory area close to the school and create a small colony to and any other survivors. Claire understands that this will take time to do, but knows that it will be worth it in the long run. Claire turns away from John and drifts off to sleep, as John looks up in the air, thinking about what his next step is going to be.